Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Melrose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to say that there are a lot of positive things going on the page. We're shifting gears with the moon from planning to decrease to actively decreasing things that no longer really serve us. And we've got some sort of healing vibes coming in, sort of surrounding that Venus square Mars, where there's some creative tension between the receptive qualities and the assertive qualities in our lives. There are so many trines pinging off both of those planets right now that I think we're getting a lot of very divine cooperation when it comes to the things that are arising that show us what is not working in our creative collaborative relationships. Okay, let's get into these aspects. Today is Saturday, September 17, 2022. The Sun and Venus are here together in Virgo, deep in conversation with one another, probably talking about what we perceive to be working well for us at this time. Which of our pet projects, work objectives, love affairs, and financial investments need a little help? If it needs a better plan, we are here to make that happen. The third quarter moon is in Gemini. Today is a day when we pause as we shift gears from planning decrease to active decrease. We get to take a moment and congratulate ourselves for how far we've come. Appropriate with the moon in Gemini, we can truly be expressive now as we look forward to the release of habits and patterns that no longer serve us. Mutable earth and mutable air, friends. Like one of those cyclone vacuum cleaners, everything gets picked up and put in another place. Hopefully this brings more order to our lives rather than more chaos. Okay, and to get started, let's take a look first at what the moon is doing today. Here's the moon on the page in Gemini. This has to do with our personal lives, how it feels to be us and who we are at home. At 6:04 this morning, Central Standard Time, friends, Moon makes a trine to Saturn. You can see it right there, that green line. Cancer, Capricorn, Aquarius. There is a stable sense of calm in the heart and the home at this time, accompanied by a need to focus on something that requires all of our attention. This is a great vibe for study or sort of complex work, attention to detail. And then at 2:53 this afternoon, it's almost an opposite vibe. Moon square to Neptune here. Cancer and Pisces. Our heads may be in the clouds at this time. We may get caught daydreaming when what we really want to do is focus. Don't hesitate, friends, to take a break and reset your brain. On the sun side of the page today at 2:24 this morning, Venus culminates a quincunx with Chiron, Aries, Taurus, and Libra. Things that aren't working in our love relationships or in the way that we handle our money are bound to arise at this time. Being aware gives us some agency in the situation. And I'm going to remind us all also that Venus is square to Mars. Well, Mars is going to be sextile to Chiron. So there's a whole interaction here of knowing what is not working, especially in our creative relationships, in our romantic relationships, and in our relationship to finance, our money, the way we spend it, that we're trying to work to heal right now. We're going to be taking some action. So, where was I? Being aware that the things that are not working in our love relationships or the way we handle our money gives us some agency in the situation. And then at 4:52 this afternoon, Sun goes square to the void of course moon. Now normally we see the void of course moon over on this side, but it's over here today because the Sun square to the moon Leo and Cancer. This is the aspect that indicates that half-lit third quarter moon that you see in the sky and the call to action that comes with it. We shift from planning to let go of things to actively doing so that we can have a clean and functional creative space from which to begin again with the new moon next week. Our void of course period tonight will last 10 hours. And it spans the midnight hour. This is an ideal time to check in with ourselves, to engage in those practices that help us calm the mind and focus the intent. Any ritual or spell work I do on a third quarter moon is going to have to do with having gratitude for what is mine and having gratitude for my ability to release what is no longer mine to worry about. And then the moon will go into Cancer tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. And at 10:54 this evening, Mars culminates a sextile to Chiron. Aries and Scorpio, these are your vibes. In a time of year when we are already solving problems, this aspect adds an extra sort of spirited jolt of enthusiasm and drive to those efforts. We can have some foresight on our side that allows us to manage obstacles and course corrections with ease, which should help a lot because, you know, Mercury is currently retrograde. Okay, and then in terms of ongoing aspects, we still have this grand trine here on the page between the Sun and Uranus and Pluto, all of them trine together. And then Neptune is out here in opposition to the Sun and sextiling those other two planets, making this sort of kite shape. So we've been looking at this grand trine on the page for what seems like a week or more, focusing on any hesitation we may be having about pursuing something that represents how things would ideally be in our lives. Cancer, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. Noticing the Uranus trine to Pluto and the very good weather we have for entering changes and transformations at this time. In a couple of days, this vibe is going to shift. As first on Wednesday, Venus and the Sun will both make trines to Uranus and Pluto. And then on Tuesday, the Sun falls away from prominence in this harmony of change and acceptance. Venus will become the tail end of the kite in opposition to Neptune. And we may find at that time that we open up a little, having less trepidation and more curiosity, excitement, and romance in our hearts. If you are feeling impatient about the pace of things one way or another, this is your cue to try to relax, all right? The planetary vibes here have us well in hand, and things are looking better all the time. Mercury's opposition to Jupiter right here is still hanging out. Mercury will fall out of that trine with Mars this week. Aries, Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Is that all of us yet? Mercury in opposition to Jupiter sort of represents a restless mind, almost as though we can be overwhelmed with all of the options. It becomes hard to focus, impossible to choose. This is an undisciplined mindset that could get us in trouble if we make risky choices, okay? So play it safe at this time, friends. And then Venus is trine to Uranus while also being square to Mars. Aries, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius. This is a time that is likely to be full of creative tension. Venus is trine to Uranus, leaving us open to these pleasant shifts and surprises in our romantic lives while also being square to Mars and seemingly challenged to handle any assertive or aggressive tendencies or behaviors. Mars is sextile to Chiron as of today, so we can say that a lot of our initiative and direct moves will be made in the interest of applying that healing balm to any wounds that have opened up between us and our loved ones. Specifically, we heal the distressed parts of our relations by taking action to heal ourselves and our own ways of being with our loved ones. And of course, it is retrograde season. So 7 of the planets, of the 11 planets that we generally follow, are currently retrograde, apparently moving backward against the regular flow of planetary movement. Everything from our deeply guarded fears and insecurities to our ability to drive safely in traffic is being impacted by a retrograde right now. Well, almost everything. In any case, these can be some difficult months to navigate. Please be kind to yourself. Give yourself as much grace as you need. We don't have to do everything perfectly. We don't have to do everything at all. Coming up tomorrow, Mercury's opposition to Jupiter reaches its full strength, as does the Sun's trine to Pluto. And then the new moon next Sunday in Libra will grace us with an opportunity to pause and consider the present moment while we transition from that mode of decrease back into the mode of increase. And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. For a version of this reading that includes further insight from Tarot, please check out my other channel, Astrology Today and Tarot with Melrose. The link is in the description. I've made a change to that channel so that the episodes will be shorter and they will not include the full review of the aspects like they do over here. So if you want to check out the Tarot and you don't want to see the aspects again, this is a good time to check it out. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. My love and gratitude go out to each and every one of you. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.